recently on a project for a client, they had a situation where they wanted some static text labels to become active links to something else under certain conditions. For example, when a certain value is met on a chart, they want the text label to become an active link to link off to another page and a URL. But in our case here for the code, we can use it for anything. We can set it to be an event, anything we want. I'm just going to show you the way that we did that. So just quickly run through what we have here. We have a label here that I've set up, a label component with just an ID of my label. I've just given it some text and a little bit of padding at the bottom just to nudge everything else down in this layout here. We also have a numeric stepper where I've set a minimum value of 0 and a maximum value of 10, and the step size is going to be 1, and we're going to use that to specify the value that we're going to use under the condition to check for changing the text here. And then finally we have the button, which is the button that we're going to press to start the whole evaluation process. So what we'll do is I'm going to run the program here just to show you that at the moment, it's not going to do anything. We're going to have, we can set a value in here, hit set value, nothing's going to happen. We haven't got any code yet. So the first thing we're going to do is let's just go over to the source code here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to create a script block. And normally I put my scripts in a separate file, but for the sake of this video, we're just going to keep everything simple and have it in a script block here. Actually, let's not do it this way. I tell you what we'll do. We'll take advantage of some of the features in Flash Builder, and we're going to have it stub out the code for us. So what we're going to do is we want things to happen when we click the button. So I'll select the button and say on click, and I'm going to say generate event handler, and it's going to stub out some code for us here. Let's just remove the comment. So let's talk about what we're going to do here before we code it up. What we want to happen is we're going to click the button. We need to evaluate the value of that numeric stepper, and then based on our condition we want to set the properties of the text label. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, if the numeric stepper is above the value of 5, we want you to make the text label an active link, and if it's below 5, we want you to make the text label an inactive link. And you really want to set both here, even though at the moment the text label has the inactive properties. Later on in your application, when that value changes, there's no guarantee that it's already in the inactive state. So we're going to set both of them here to guarantee that our user interface is going to be set up the way we want it under the right conditions. So let's start running the code. We're going to use an if statement here, and we're going to say if our numeric stepper value, so we need ns new value is the ID of the numeric stepper, and we want to get the value property here, and we want to say if it's more than 5, and we'll just put a little comment in here, we're going to say we want the active link. And let's just complete the logic here first, and we'll say else. We're going to assume that it's below 5, and so we're going to say okay, we want the inactive link. Okay, so let's go ahead and change the properties now. So we're going to say my label, which is the ID for the text label, remember, and we are going to say button mode, which turns it into the clickable object, is going to be true. And down here in this one, we're going to say my label.button mode equals false. So let's just save that and run this. So set to 0, I move over the text label. We don't have any linking here, nothing we can click. If I put the numeric stepper up to say 6 and hit set value, now when I move over the text label, you can see that it's now saying, oh look, you can click on this. And of course we can click on it, nothing's going to happen. We don't have anything set up for that right now. But if I set it back down below 5 and hit set value, it's going to go back to the inactive state. So just to prove that it is doing something, what we're going to do here is let's just go back up to the active link state here, and I'm actually going to add on my label, I'm going to add an event listener of type mouse event.click, and I'm going to call the handle click function. And so we need to add that function now. So just below that one there, we'll say protected function handle click. It needs to have a type, so we're going to have an event type of mouse event. We'll set it to void since it's not going to return anything, and all I'm going to do is have it change. In fact, let's do this. When we click on it, we'll have it change the text. So we'll say mylabel.text equals you clicked on me, and we'll save that. We have an error here. I need to remove those from there. Save again, and now let's run this. So again, we hit the button, nothing happens. I go up here and I can't click on this label. If I set it above 5, sorry, hit set value. Now you see I get the little hand icon here. I can click on it and the text is going to change. And if I go back down to below 5 and hit set value, it's going to deactivate that link again. So very simple code. That's all you need to do really. The key thing here is this mylabel.button mode, setting it to true and false, sort of switches on and off the ability for the icon to change and for you to click on it. And it's always advisable to have an event listener here to click on it. You don't really want to have the logic in here for when you click on it inside this if statement. I always like to break things down into simple chunks of code, so I always pass it out to a separate handler. So there you go. Hope this has been useful. There's more videos on uibuzz.com covering many subjects, and not just Flash Builder and Flex. So go there and check them out, and you can always follow us at uibuzz on Twitter. Thank you.